Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by ExpressVPN, MeUndies, and Stamps.com. I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Barbara.
And I'm still Gus. How's everyone doing? It's Monday, yet again. Ready for another podcast?
Monday, yet again. That
Every
should be
Monday,
the
podcast till you die. Podcast.
He said
podcast,
that right before
podcast.
we got on.
Yay!
Hey!
feeling a little loopy right now.
What do
Yeah,
you think
me
your last
too.
podcast will be?
We just talked about this. right before we came on, yeah.
7,342.
Can you physically make it that
How
old?
many years is that? 7,340?
We're on what? We're almost at 600,
That's
aren't we?
141 years of podcast.
Are we
my
getting?
God.
We're getting close to 600, aren't we?
Yeah, we're like at, what are we, 581? 582.
582.
What are your favorites? Do you like the ones with the original cast with Bernie here, or do you like the rotating cast?
I like rotating.
Hell yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Bernie.
He's not watching this. That's
Jessica
okay.
just wanted to know if you like her.
Don't speak for me,
Yeah,
Gavin.
I like having new people, new ideas, new points of view.
for
new
sure,
things
for
going on.
sure.
I love when Jessica's on the podcast.
New
Why?
neuroses.
Jessica just makes me happy.
I really appreciate you saying that.
You're
Thank
just
you.
such a lovely person.
I appreciate
Jessica,
that.
I've discovered, is the only person in your office. Like, whenever we go over there to screw around, smash stuff up, Jessica's there all the time. Everyone else is always gone, and there's no one to mess with. What's up with
Isn't that speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It does. Jessica's the hardest worker. Absolutely. I think. Yeah. We're kind of all over the place all the time. I think
Yeah.
it's because people are filming so much things all over and like in meetings. I'm in meetings every hour of the day
Yeah.
at this point. If I'm not.
How do you feel about that?
Not great. I would enjoy less meetings in my life. Maybe just a few less.
Delegate them.
Delegate my meetings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clone yourself.
Just have someone who just goes to your meetings and takes notes.
Gavin, are you volunteering?
I will do that one time.
Deal.
You can use me on one meeting per year.
Deal.
Wow.
That is a verbal agreement.
That's saving a lot of time.
I'm gonna pick
Gavin.
a 4-hour meeting.
Yeah.
that I
It
have.
can't be 4 hours. What meeting's 4 hours?
Probably the
I've been-
managers meeting, right?
Yes, I've been in like 3 4-hour meetings this year,
Right,
and it's
I'm
only
not,
February.
I'm not going to a management offsite.
What's
You
your
can do
maximum?
any other
What's your
meeting.
maximum hour spent in a meeting? For Barbara.
An hour?
90 minutes.
Okay, you have a
hour?
90-minute meeting. You can pawn off on him. Can
Alright.
Can she take 3 30-minute meetings?
It's one meeting.
One meeting.
It's one meeting.
There's so many rules to this. He's like offering you something, but yet there's like a million rules to
I
it. It's
know.
not
All right,
fun
Jessica,
anymore.
all right, Jessica, what shouldn't the rules
All right,
be?
Jessica. All right, Jessica. What?
Sorry. No.
Wow,
you
this
don't,
got really hostile all of a sudden.
Oh,
No,
this is one of
that's-
those times where you forget. You're like, there's this on camera.
And someone in the chat just said Jessica and Gavin work so well on the podcast together. Look how wrong,
that
look how
ruined
wrong they
everything.
are.
And then there's one saying, what does Jessica do?
What does Jessica do? Everything.
Jessica sits in the office and defends it from Achievement Hunter, so they don't mess with us.
Or really what Gavin meant by saying that is like, Jessica's always in the office. Can it be somebody else that gives like better reactions in videos?
No, you give great reactions. We just can't have videos where we just go and see you and then come back.
It should just be called like Shenanigans featuring Jessica.
I saw you. I was there. Y'all were doing some messing around the
Gus,
other
you're
day.
sneaky.
You're kind of hidden
on the
though.
outside.
yeah.
Hidden-
like,
I'm
it's-
like right by the door.
Yeah, but it's not easy to at a first glance when you're just peeking into offices to see if you're there. You have to like
that's true.
really loop around.
People always are looking in there. I don't like. I'll be typing or doing something. And I'll see like a shadow like look in and then leave real fast. Like who the fuck was that?
Or it'll be Chris jumping in.
Or Chris jumps in for some reason.
I think we could talk about it because I think you guys teased the fact it was coming back, but Versus is coming back. It's Achievement Hunter versus Rooster Teeth, and we've already filmed I think a couple episodes, but I think that premieres this week.
The ones I've seen are so funny.
If you
So
haven't
fucking
heard
funny.
the news yet, I think they announced it at the end of Let's Roll. I want to say
Oh, yeah, because Let's Roll's taking a little break.
taking a little break, and Versus is coming back. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Have you competed yet, Gavin?
No. Well, I did see one get filmed this morning. It was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. Well, do we know when that's coming back?
I think
Has
it's this
been-
week.
Is it this week? Okay. Should be interesting. I wanted
If
to.
only we had someone from Achievement Hunter here to
Can I-
confirm it.
Can I bitch about something? I wanted to take part in one of these things.
Yeah, I think the one today.
Yes, but they wouldn't make a special dietary exception for me.
Because you're vegan
They
now.
wouldn't make the vegan version of
They
that
wouldn't
game.
change it. They're like, Gus will be in it. Great. And then they were like, how vegan are you? I said, I'm not going to eat anything that's not plant-based. And
I
then they
love
were
that.
like,
How vegan
right.
are you?
And they were like, okay, never mind. We'll find someone else. I was like, you can't.
Well, how much stuff was
Right.
I
just
also
the
knowing
cheese?
what they used today. I
Right.
think
That's why
there
I
was, like,
asked in the
fruits and
meeting. That's why I said,
vegetables.
what was it? What was
Gus,
there?
it would have taken, based on what I've seen, 1 or 2 seconds to slightly alter it. for you.
Right. So I was
Yeah.
kind of offended that they wouldn't make the fucking change so I could be in it.
It makes me think that they probably already went shopping and probably would have had to like make a separate trip.
No,
Yeah.
they could have just used more of some stuff
Right.
and
They
taken
had
other stuff
plenty.
out.
This
Also,
will make,
then they're just
much
little
more
chips.
sense once you see the video.
I think everything that they used was
No. There were 2 things that weren't.
Are marshmallows vegan?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
What's in that?
This isn't going to spoil anything about it. It's just
It's
food.
like gelatin, I think. Same thing, and the gummy bears
awful.
as well.
You wouldn't have had to swallow it though, would you have?
Good question.
Like just put it in your mouth? I don't know.
Also, what is gelatin made out of again?
I think it's pig.
Hooves.
That's right. Yeah.
Hooves.
Gus, who wouldn't accommodate you? Like name names.
Was it?
Trevor.
Whoa.
I'll talk to him. I love it.
Let me have a chat with them.
Okay, I'll have a chat.
Okay, can I call more people out?
Yes.
Are we in the airing grievances part of the podcast?
Yes.
Confrontation corner.
Oh,
A little plug. You can watch Conflict Corner on RT Inbox
See, that-
every Saturday and Sunday.
and confrontation corner on Monday on the podcast.
what a shit.
Man, I got into it last week.
Let's hear it, Gus. Who do you hate?
Okay, don't hate anybody. I'm just frustrated at the process.
What did Chris do?
No, it wasn't Chris. So last week we had the podcast, and someone said they had a very infectious laughter, and I made the joke that it was the coronavirus of laughs. So we wanted to name last week's podcast the coronavirus of laughs, but certain people didn't want us to name it that. And frankly, honestly, I didn't care what we called it until I started hearing, no, you can't call it that. And then I was like, oh, we're definitely calling it that then.
So, Eric, why didn't you want him to call it that?
Oh, no,
No, Eric was
Gavin.
totally
I
on
was
board.
on the side of call it that. Absolutely.
So, who else matters?
I mean, you want me to?
No,
Gus, you
no,
want me to
no,
name?
it's fine. So it was like this whole thing where it's like I had to go back and forth with several different people being like, no, let's just call it that.
Well, let's hear him. Let's hear the names.
They know who they are.
Are they around here now?
No.
I don't think so. No.
To be fair, to play devil's advocate for this person, I feel like obviously coronavirus is a very serious thing. Everything that has come with it
Right.
and the repercussions of it. And I think ultimately it's better to err on the side of safety when it's
Boo.
when we're naming
Let her
things
speak, Eric.
and doing things on social media, which I get because there are some sensitivities to certain things. But
We weren't making light of it.
exactly, I think also like it's very important to know the context for it, which is a little weird with titling sometimes
Right, and-
because
and-
not everyone knows the context before you put it out.
And then what I think, what my counter argument would have been was like, if I had said it was the malaria of laughs or the influenza of laughs, like nobody would care. Even
Yet
though-
those people kill more.
Right, those kill way more
Yeah.
people. It's
Dude,
like,
influenza kills so many people.
right, what is it, like
Every year.
18,000 or something?
I think it's more. I think
it's
it's
way more than that.
21,000 in the
awful.
something like that. It's a lot. It's way more than I thought it was.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten my flu shot yet this year.
They only last a year.
I think it's a new one every year.
Oh, okay.
The flu, 10,000 people have died and 180,000 people have been hospitalized
This year?
for this flu season.
Wow.
Just the season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's a lot. But
yeah.
anyway.
But you won, though. You won the argument.
I did win, but I
Take
felt
that,
like
Chad. was it Chad?
yes.
Oh my god.
I knew I was going to guess
Put
it
him on
eventually.
blast. Damn.
I felt like
Damn.
I felt like
He was just trying to protect.
no, and I
Chan.
get that. He was the people who were working on that just didn't want like a negative feedback
Right.
or negative comments on different social media and video platforms, and I get that. But it's like our audience would appreciate that kind of a sense of humor, and I'm trying to like do things that appeal to our audience. And I know, like, of course, there were in
It's
the
doing it the
in
way
op-
you want to do it.
Right. In the opposition's defense, there were negative comments. But like all the negative comments I felt like happened as soon as the video was posted. Like it was people who didn't watch it. Like you're talking about context
Right.
matters.
Context
and then
matters.
like after people had watched it, then the replies started coming like, "Oh, it was actually."
it's also
I
nice."
just feel like, especially this company, we shouldn't be afraid to joke about things.
Yeah. You got some very quiet applause.
Tell that to Edward Stockwell.
Jeez.
Fidget spinner.
Jeez.
That was a great moment in RT history.
I don't know that moment.
I don't know. I don't
No.
either. I didn't want to fake laugh and just be like, I want to be a part of everything. And
Nope. But
Making
yeah.
light of a bad situation using a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're right. When
The
appropriate,
community knows, I'm sure.
we shouldn't be afraid to make jokes that are funny and not in bad taste.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right. And context matters.
Context does matter. Okay.
So if you watched our stuff and know what context is, and you could be a voice for the community of people who don't understand the context, good job. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
yes.
Thanks for still liking us, even though
Thanks for fighting for us.
we're awful pieces of junk. I'm a human piece of garbage over here. Man, that reminds me of something.
Coronavirus?
Yeah, coronavirus reminds me of something
This is
actually.
like Gus's vent session.
No,
Yeah.
this isn't the vent
Welcome to the
section.
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been going on for 11 years now.
Yeah.
On Friday night, Esther and I were sitting around and we were like, I think we were watching the news or something, and there was like something about coronavirus outbreak and whatnot. And Esther turns to me and says, I bet you could probably fly to Shanghai really cheap right now. And I said, you're probably right. So I started looking it up, and you could fly from Austin to Shanghai round trip for $550.
Oh,
And I was like,
But aren't they on lockdown? Aren't all flights in and out of China on lockdown?
from some U.S. carriers. We'd have to fly to like Tokyo and then take like a Chinese-based airline
Oh,
over
wow,
to Shanghai,
okay.
or like just you have to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, actually, just to jump in front of traffic. You don't actually have to go anywhere.
I was like, how interesting would it be? Because like, how interesting would it be to see something like this, where it's obviously happening and like the city is relatively empty because people are staying inside, and to go around and like try to document that, and
Yeah.
then there would be like there was like this whole thing, like maybe there's a possibility of when trying to re-enter the U.S., depending on where you went, you might have to be in quarantine for up to 14 days. And I thought, how interesting would that be to document?
I knew that you were going to get excited to be quarantined.
Right.
You were just going to be like,
It's
this is so fucking
Would that
cool.
be interesting for 2 weeks, though?
I mean, obviously not, but you could make an interesting 10-minute video out of it.
Would it
It's
be
all
worth
for
it in the end?
content.
What?
Would it be worth it in the end?
I think so.
Have you just
Okay.
spent 2 weeks to make a 10-minute video? That's
It
pretty,
get
like...
a lot of views.
Yeah, it'd be
in
a lot of views.
quarantine. That's the key thing here.
Usually,
It would go
Usually,
viral. Poor taste. Thanks, Eric.
Hey, Jessica, do you want to take Gus's desk when he dies?
That means I have to sit with Todd, so nah.
Yeah.
just slamming your department. Yeah.
I sit with Mariel now, so like, that's not much better, but
Well, means
Yeah.
you always got the office to yourself.
yeah.
But anyway, we didn't go. We seriously talked
So
about
how much
it.
was the flight?
$553?
That is very cheap.
That's a very cheap, like
That's round trip.
round
China?
trip to get to China. I was like, how? And then to film it and experience that.
You could pay $553 to get coronavirus.
No,
I know.
I think a lot of it's sensationalized.
Right.
I think obviously it's an illness. People
I
are
also
catching it.
look at those numbers. They keep publicizing the amount of people who've died from the virus and stuff like that. But when I think about that, it's oftentimes when they publish those numbers, it's people who are already unwell, who've caught it, or like the elderly, or people who are just generally have a poor immune system, or
Right.
whatever it is. Like, it's not a typical, if you
Healthy
get
adult.
it, you're
Right, yeah.
you're gonna die. Like it's the same with the flu. Like typically,
Exactly.
people who die from it are already unwell or old or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's the way we were thinking about it. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like a worse version of the flu.
Right.
So anyway, we decided not to go.
Why did you decide not to go?
There was too many questionable variables. Like, how long would we board the dogs? Like, if we boarded the dogs for a trip, but then got quarantined, what would happen? It's like there's all this other
It's so rare
life
that
variables.
the dog is not in quarantine and the owner is. It's usually the way around.
But it's cheap. I don't know if you still can get that. Like some of the U.S. Airlines have stopped flying there, so it would.
Yeah.
Like I said, you'd have to connect somewhere. It would definitely be a pain in the ass to get there and back, but it would be possible. I don't remember now, but I think the one I looked at was flying to Tokyo via American Airlines.
I was going to say, what airline was
And
it?
then China Eastern Airlines from Tokyo to Shanghai.
Someone in the chat said hashtag send Chad to China.
Oh,
Why?
oh, yeah.
Nope.
Wow.
Now that would be a
Gus,
coronavirus
Chris,
of laughs.
and Chad.
Stop.
We're gonna have to cut everything I say this whole podcast. It's because I'm hopped up on Dayquil.
Are you sick?
Are you sick?
Yeah.
Can you
I'm
not
something.
hear it? I can hear it.
Yeah, I sound not good.
You sound better than you did this morning.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I can still hear it.
A couple
for
days
sure.
ago, I sounded like I was going through puberty, but
what's
in
up.
like a really not sexy way.
Oh, okay.
Because puberty is normally really sexy.
Very sexy. Yeah.
It's the sexiest of ages. No, don't. Do not.
Title!
Do not call this a podcast that.
Puberty is the sexiest of ages.
Oh man.
Gussarola 2020.
Yeah, go to China. Go to China.
Gonna have to hide for a few weeks. This episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by ExpressVPN. There's tons of VPN providers out there. You've probably heard of a couple of them. Some you may have even used VPN before. And I like to do my research before I recommend any sponsors. And I can say that ExpressVPN is the fastest VPN I've ever used. I've tried lots of VPNs in the past. Many slow down your connection or make your device sluggish. I've been using ExpressVPN for months. My internet speeds are blazing fast. Even when I connect to servers thousands of miles away, I can still stream HD quality videos with zero lag. ExpressVPN also doesn't log your data. Lots of really cheap or free VPNs make money by selling your data to ad companies. ExpressVPN develops a technology called Trusted Server that makes it impossible for their servers to log any of your info. The last thing that really sets ExpressVPN apart from other VPNs is how easy it is to use. Unlike other VPNs, you don't have to input or program anything. You just fire up the app, click one button to connect. It's so easy, I bet even your grandparents could use it. And it's not just me who says this. There's TechRadar, The Verge, CNET, many other tech experts rate ExpressVPN the #1 VPN in the world. So protect yourself with the VPN that I use and trust. You can use my link at expressvpn.com/rooster today and get an extra 3 months for free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/rooster. Visit expressvpn.com/rooster to learn more. Big thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast. It's a quality product. Just check it out.
I've been into arguing with people on Twitter recently. You seen any of that?
I've
I have seen a
noticed
little bit.
that.
It's because I went to England and I just don't have any work to do there. So
I thought everyone's too polite. Like nobody's arguing with you there, so you have to argue on the internet.
I've discovered the worst thing about arguments on Twitter is that I'll say something, people will argue with me, it's fine. But people will misinterpret why I'm arguing and come to my defense over the wrong thing. So then I end up arguing with the people who are defending me more than the people I'm arguing with. And I'm just arguing with every single person.
Like there's no side that aligns with you. You're just arguing with every side.
Yeah. And it's just getting educated about... there are a lot of Americans telling me how the immigration system works here.
You mean the Americans who were born here and have no idea actually how it works?
How the NHS works, all this stuff. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
Did you buy your green card yet?
Oh,
Or sorry,
yeah.
did you buy your citizenship yet?
You know, they were sold out.
Oh.
I hear
That was so that was one of the tweets where I was like, oh, so I'll just listen to someone who doesn't know anything about my situation. Then people were saying, oh, they were only asking a question. And I was like, well, the question wasn't the bit that I'm arguing with. It's the
Right.
point where they said that I could already get a citizenship
Right.
because I already been on a green card long enough. That part's not true. That was the part I was yelling about. But then everyone was like, oh, you shouldn't ever ask him about his citizenship. It's private. I was like, no, it's fine. That part's fine. You stop it. Stop putting your... Everyone's insane.
It's like people are coming to your defense.
Yeah, but
too
for the
much
wrong bit.
For the wrong bit, yeah. Also,
it's-
like people have been arguing with you about like every tweet you've been making.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because I've been firing back. Because usually I don't care and I don't have the time to do it, but I just had some free time. And I've discovered now that's what I'm like when I have free time. I'm just unprepared to listen to bullshit fired at me because most of it's wrong.
And you responding to it. I even messaged you and asked, I was like, hey, buddy, are you okay? Because it was just such a behavior that's very...
You were texting that. A lot of people were like, oh, just calm down, stop getting riled up. And I was like, I'm not like annoyed or riled up. I'm just like calmly tweeting in my English living
just you-
room.
Were you
It
drinking a spot of tea at the same time?
I'm not there like, I'm just, it was more funny. It was quite entertaining.
You,
I'm not going to make a full-time thing of it though.
you tweeted some technical problems you were having.
Oh yeah, that was one of the things I was dealing with.
And then I texted you. I prefaced my text to you with, do you want unsolicited advice for your problem? And then you put just like a little thing.
My problem was I had a Mac Pro from 2010 without a hard drive. So I bought a hard drive for it, put it in, and I thought there was like a recovery partition or like an internet thing you could do to just download the operating system, but it just wasn't working. So to get an operating system on that is very difficult because it can't run the latest operating system, which is Catalina, macOS.
Fuck if I know.
The Catalina wine mixer. What was that thing from Step Brothers? Is that
Yeah,
what it
it's
was?
the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Fucking Catalina wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so High Sierra is the latest thing I can put on that. But getting hold of that is very difficult when you're so... I can't even be asked to explain it. I had to jump through some hoops. I had to downgrade my own laptop.
Which I didn't even know you could downgrade.
to-
That's crazy.
I had
didn't
to
know that
downgrade it
either.
once so I could then get access to an operating system that was 2 down from that. Then I made a bootable USB. Then I shoved it in. I got that shit done. It took me about 11 hours total.
Oh my god.
Troubleshooting and just not getting it
Your
done.
explanation to me via text is so fucking long.
Yeah, right?
I mean, it's like-
you're the only person I typed it to because I was like, you might have had to deal with that. at
Yeah,
some
I
point.
read it and I was like trying to think if there's another way to do it. I was like, no, this was the best way to do it. Given your situation.
Yeah.
If you ever want unsolicited advice, bring up something tech related or post a video of yourself working out.
Or post a picture of any temperature that you're
Oh
experiencing.
god, because it's always colder or hotter somewhere else.
Isn't it really just like posting anything in general? You'll just get unsolicited advice. Just
Yeah,
like,
you're
okay,
right.
thank you.
You're
I mean,
right,
sometimes
Jessica.
it's helpful.
Is it?
I feel like I've been helped out by Twitter before.
Oh yeah.
You have to
think
really
so.
sort through a lot, though. Like, even if you're asking a very direct question, you're asking for help. There's a lot of, I don't know.
I'm gonna use the internet right now for help. We we're trying to think about a name for. We want to do more like board games and like fun like challenges and stuff over with Rooster Teeth, and we're trying to think of like a name for that series. So we have a couple ideas thrown around, but if you guys in the chat or in the comments of this podcast have ideas, we'd love to hear from the community.
And
Usually they're
all
good at.
Yeah, they're all types of games. They're not just board games. They're like any type of game.
Yeah.
Could be like a field day outside or something, playing games.
We came up with a great one, but then we realized someone else was using something similar.
Yeah, you want
God,
to say
it
what
was
it
so
was?
good. Can we say it?
Can we?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
It was Game Bang.
Yeah.
In the meeting, anytime I would say it, I kept alternating between saying game bang and gang bang.
I thought you were. I was like, I swear to God, I'm hearing gang.
At one point, Drew turns to me and says, "It's very hard to tell if you're saying game bang or gang bang."
You can tell the difference now. I don't care. You know.
But yeah, if you have any
Time for
ideas,
hey guys, do you have time this week for game bang?
always for you, Jessica.
Yeah. Oh man.
Chris.
Oh, Chris is over there.
Chris was in this conversation.
You guys
as well
eating pizza
today.
over there? Yeah. That's cool.
Did you end up stealing any of his ice cream?
No, I didn't, but I will now for sure.
I thought that
Chris,
was your
I'm
ice
coming.
cream.
One of the times recently when Chris was on the podcast, he talked about how he eats a pint of ice cream every day before he goes to bed.
Was it a whole pint?
Is it really a whole pint, Chris?
No, he just said he had ice cream
Get on
every
the
night.
sidecar.
Get in there, Chris.
If you're going to eat my pizza, get on the sidecar.
I don't always eat a whole
Christopher?
pint. I always eat ice cream.
So since he said he eats ice cream every night before he goes to bed, I went to, there's a vegan ice cream place not too far
Yeah.
from here. So I went and bought him some pints of vegan ice cream so that he could try them out. And so I bought them for him last week sometime. And
You got him 3 different
I bought him
kinds.
3 different. I asked him what his favorite kind of ice cream was, and I tried to buy him comparable ones. And being the asshole that he is, like 2 days went by and he said nothing about it. So finally I went up to him. I was like, "Chris, have you tried the ice cream?"
It was really good.
That's what he said. I was like, "I expected you to let me know when you tried it. I've been over here waiting."
Sorry. It was really good. The peanut butter was really good.
That makes it sound like you've got nothing going on with your life
Well, like,
except for waiting for Chris's
I
verdict.
spent a lot of money buying him this fucking vegan ice cream, and it's like,
But also, there's 3 in
reaction.
our refrigerator. Did you take them home, or you just kind of eat them little bites at home at work?
No, I was going to eat them at work. Because
Oh, it's work ice cream, so not before bed. Work ice cream. So you have 2 ice creams: work ice cream and home ice cream. Okay.
Home ice cream.
Okay.
I mean, I could take them, but then I figured people might want to try it.
Oh.
but you didn't tell anyone that.
Oh, okay.
You were also just sick, weren't you?
Well, but I scooped out into a bowl.
Oh,
Okay, good.
I made a point to do that.
Good.
Good.
That's smart.
Good boy, Chris.
Such a good boy.
What flavors were they? It was like peanut butter chocolate.
Yeah, and then there's a chocolate mint,
Chocolate, and then
and then the
I don't remember the other one.
chocolate.
So is it made with like almond
Oh, the
milk?
Death Metal by Chocolate.
Death
That's
Metal,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
What do they put in chocolate to make it vegan?
I mean, chocolate by itself is vegan. You just can't add the milk. Like you can't have
Yeah,
milk chocolate.
just cacao.
So just
Cacao.
dark chocolate.
But so in this one,
but-
is it like almond milk, coconut milk?
I think they're different kinds. There's they have all different kinds. I don't know
Yeah.
which ones specifically those three are. But Drew made an interesting point. So when we were having that meeting talking about show ideas earlier, I have a pint of ice cream in the freezer as well. I eat out of it like an animal.
I saw you today doing
So
that.
I was eating out of it, and Drew looked at the container and he said, "There's no nutrition information on this."
Interesting.
And I said, "What?" And I looked at it. I'd never noticed that. There's zero nutrition information on
Is
it.
it like a multi-pack that
No.
has...
It was like a single pint that I bought.
Is it on the inside of the lid?
No, there's nowhere on it. And Drew said, "Is this even approved for sale? Like, can you eat
That's
this?"
surely not legal.
It was directly from the manufacturer.
There's nothing on it.
Well,
That's
you bought
really
it at the
interesting.
store, right?
I, and I went to their website to see. I was like, surely they have nutrition information on their website. They don't. So
Oh,
now
wow.
I'm worried.
Yeah, you should be. Absolutely. You
You're
should be
gonna
worried.
die.
What is it?
I don't know. I mean, they have ingredients on it. They just don't tell you like
Okay.
the nutrition information breakdown or how many calories are in it.
Chris, what's the weirdest thing you think you eat on a regular basis?
The weirdest thing I
Hey,
eat
you
on a
stay so
regular basis.
thin.
Like the fact that you eat ice cream every day, I think is a little odd. I don't think it's that weird though. It's definitely not typical.
It's odd but not weird.
Yeah.
You know, I drink
Yeah.
baby Pedialyte a lot.
Oh my God, Chris.
Why?
You're so
Do
cute.
you really? It's good for you, isn't it?
It's a hydrating thing. If ever I'm like,
Are you dehydrated a lot?
well, it's a hangover thing.
Are you hungover a lot?
Oh, for sure. He goes
Well,
out every weekend.
So I don't be hungover.
What?
If you go out drink and then the next morning you're dehydrated, that's part of what gives you a hangover. So I'll chug a bunch of like the baby Pedialyte, the stuff they give the babies whenever they throw up.
But babies are never hungover.
I mean, yeah, Pedialyte.
Right,
But
yeah.
it's a hydrating thing, and it
Yeah.
hydrates you. So I'll chug a bunch of that.
Do you
and
know what
get
also
it.
is really good at hydrating you?
water. I
Water.
drink that too, but it didn't have electrolytes.
It's a lot cheaper.
What about like
Gatorade.
Gatorade and stuff?
Well, but this is like super Gatorade.
Yeah, no.
It's so good to give it to
have
baby
to admit,
athletes.
I do drink Pedialyte also when I know drinking is involved because I'm deathly afraid of any sort of hangover.
Yeah.
You're gonna need that on Thursday.
Oh God, that's right. Off
Yeah.
topic. Oh,
What's the name of this stuff?
Pedialyte?
has a lot of electrolytes in it.
It's like
and-
pediatrician.
So why
Yeah.
don't you call it Pedolite?
Pedo
Well, why do we call it pedolite?
Jesus. Let's talk about
I'm not
puberty
like
some more.
super into. I'm not a full pedo. I'm just a pedolite.
God damn it.
Is that the title? Yeah.
But isn't
With
that,
a screenshot of his face. Don't put me in that fucking thumbnail.
so are you saying two different words?
Pedialyte.
Because
that's the name of it?
I say pedophile, but you say pedophile.
No, these are definitely two different words.
Pedophile.
No, I'm not talking about the word
These are the
pedophile.
preface.
I say pedophile.
Wait, how do you say it, Gavin?
Pedophile. How do you spell this word that you're saying?
PEDO.
Can you bring-
PHILE? I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same bit. You're just pronouncing it two different ways, depending on the word.
Pedophile.
What Pedialyte is Pedia.
Okay. All right, fine.
It's PEDO for pedophile.
Aluminium.
PEDIA for Pedialyte.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay. We also spell it differently, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, y'all do like PAED?
Yeah.
Paid file. I shouldn't be here.
Blaine wants to say something.
What are you going to say,
Blaine, what do
Blaine?
you? How do you say pedophile?
Blaine wants to say
I'm
something.
not gonna get into that conversation. On the topic of Chris's dietary habits, he carries around snacks in his backpack sometimes.
Oh, this
Chris
story.
and I have been collaborating on a project recently, so he's been in my office a lot. And as
I
you know,
feel like all of your recent tweets are about how you've had to deal with Chris for an extended period of
dude,
time.
I swear to God, we're fucking married. So like, he was in there recently, and Dutch, who's jumping on the set now, is in my office as well. We share an office together.
Oh, God.
And Dutch, I walk in and he was chewing on a container of like these Japanese like Pocky sticks with dip
They
or
have
some
chocolate
shit.
on them, don't they?
Huh?
Don't they have chocolate on
This
them?
one was
No,
vanilla,
they said
right?
vanilla.
Oh, okay.
And I
It was like
start,
Yan Yan or something,
I
I think.
yank him out because he had gotten through at least over half of the whole container. And I yelled at Chris and I was like, why the fuck did you leave food in my office? And then he started getting mad and accusing Dutch of breaking into his backpack and taking his snacks from him. And I was like, he's a dog. Anyways, we yelled a lot, and I think in our next inbox in the conflict corner, there's gonna be a segment. Where
I think Chad started filming it.
He is a backpack.
No, Dutch, no.
See? He learned nothing.
There's no food in my
Got
backpack,
your red
by the
paw.
way.
Well, you have to have context for this too. There's already been 2 or 3 conflict corners where people have yelled at Chris for leaving his fucking backpack on the floor.
Yep.
And then he left his backpack on the floor in a different office. And so fucking Dutch gets into the backpack. So whose fault is it, Chris?
It's shared between me and Dutch.
So he's a dog.
He's an innocent little dog. He doesn't know any better.
Look, he's asking for pizza now. He's sitting there.
That's a
one of
good
his-
dog.
He is so
I enjoy
cute.
it. Blaine makes some good dog content. Like the mud
The
rolling
mud
around.
thing
That was
was
good
the
shit.
best video.
Why does he have one little paw up?
Because
I know,
he's
look at
waiting
his
for
little
Chris to give him
ears.
some food.
He's posing. Hi, Dutch.
Is Conflict Corner in the inbox video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a segment we do on it. We have a
Do you
couple
watch our
segments on
content,
it.
Gavin?
I haven't watched the inbox show yet.
Oh.
Although if there was
send you a
if
link.
there was a different show just about conflict, I'd watch that.
Well, maybe we're using Inbox to test it
Spin
out.
it off.
Yeah. I think we just have to be meaner to each other to get
I know.
more
It's like we need to
conflicts.
create more conflict with each other.
When was this? On Friday, Blaine sent me the same sentence written 2 different ways.
Oh my god! And this was after their
You were
yelling
there.
match. Oh my god! They had just yelled for like 30 minutes. Like
And he sent me these 2 sentences and wrote, which reads correctly, this one or this one? Chris and I will have killed each other by the end of today. So I made my decision, and then immediately both of them came running into my office to like argue their points. And then Jessica just happened to be there at the time. So then like they're asking Todd, then Jessica's weighing in. And
Oh,
it's like,
jeez.
just stop.
oh, they were so funny Friday though.
Just stop.
Like, yeah,
Oh man,
these two.
they'll be happy one day.
Yeah.
When one of us dies.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at Dutch in the mud. That's he's
That's
so
you.
cute.
Wow, that must have been fun to clean up.
It actually wasn't that bad. I mean,
really?
he jumped in the back of the Jeep and I gave him a big old bath.
A big old bath.
He's a perfect
But I
dog.
love that the other dog like joined in just with Dutch and be like, "Hi, we're friends sitting in this mud pile together."
Oh, yeah. Dutch is a popular dog.
Yeah.
I took him there and he's just all the dogs are all over Dutch.
for sure.
Yeah. Also, Gus almost got me to go vegan for a bit, but I've settled with pescatarian 2 weeks now.
How's it feel?
Good. I mean, I'm fucking Jack, so, you know.
Blaine, so
With that,
humble.
He's off.
Bye,
Blaine,
guys.
Jack.
Stay humble, everyone.
Yes.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by MeUndies. Love is in the air, so someone grab the Lysol. Just kidding, it's a joke. Even though it's a made-up holiday, it's still really cute. It's also the perfect time to show that special someone how much you care and say those 3 words everyone wants to hear. Match my undies. MeUndies has the most adorable Valentine's Day prints to get all lovey-dovey this year. Don't worry. If you don't have a boo, MeUndies also makes buddy bands so you can match with your pet, which is honestly more important to people. We all know that. I've heard me talk about MeUndies for so long because I really do like them. I love the look and feel and the ease of getting my favorite underwear delivered right to me. I think it's pronounced micromodal, but either way, it's the softest thing on earth. So to show how much they love you, MeUndies has not 1, but 3 new Valentine's Day prints this year. It's a perfect opportunity to show that special someone you're ready to take it to the next level with matching pairs. Match me so I know it's real is the motto this year. So if you're matching your BFF or even your dog, it still counts. Also, MeUndies has new loungewear. Rumor has it that it's loungewear you can wear out and about. So keep your eyes peeled for some cozy new additions. MeUndies has a great offer for you. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off and free shipping. It's a no-brainer, especially because we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So to get 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. That's MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. Thanks to MeUndies for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. I wish he'd stay around and talk more about that, but oh well. We'll take it next time he's on the podcast.
Gavin, you look different today.
You look different.
What do you think looks different?
Like,
about him?
did you do something different with your hair or your face?
I shaved my beard off.
Is your hair thicker somehow?
Is it dirty?
How do you make hair thicker?
I
Is
don't
it dirty?
Well, is it dirty? Because sometimes, like, when my hair's oily and greasy,
Like,
I can just
hold on.
like, and it
has
stays there
products
because
in
it's so
it.
dirty.
I washed it this morning.
Like, you look like more attractive.
Barbara's got those NyQuil goggles on.
Hey, baby. Oh, that means all the other times you're not.
Oh, she got it. Well, I'm just like, whatever you're doing, it's nice.
All right, I'll
like
try
the
and
hair.
figure out what I've done. and I'll continue to do it more.
Replicate it.
Or change it.
And I'll come by the core office. I'll be like, "What do you think today?" Yeah,
That's what I'll do.
Love it.
I've not nailed this. So I was in England, meeting a new member of my family, small baby.
Were you there during Brexit?
No, right before.
Okay.
That's when I left. But I was noticing that because we recently discovered that Michael was about to turn 1 billion seconds old sometime last year, so we had a little party for him. And then I set an alarm so I would know when I was 1 billion seconds old. And the baby I just met is already 1 million seconds old.
Wow. That's
But
the difference between 1 million and 1 billion.
Then I was like, that is such a good visualizer of the difference between a billionaire and a millionaire, is that it takes a human 12 days to become 1 million seconds old, but 31.7 years to become a
That's-
billion
Oh my
seconds
God.
old.
That is incredible.
Isn't that nuts?
So someone
Yeah.
like Jeff Bezos, who's what's his? It's like 71 billion.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or like is it 100 billion?
I'm
half
not
of that.
sure since the divorce. It was over
Jeff,
100.
I wrote Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos net worth.
That just makes me think about like time and space and the cosmos.
123.9.
Makes you go deep.
Yeah.
123.9
Yeah.
billion dollars.
It's just like, I still feel like we're constantly reminded of what it means to be a billionaire, but it's so hard to perceive that in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because growing up, 1 million is a lot and 1 billion is a lot. They're both a ton to have
Yeah.
in money. But when you see how far 1 billion is from 1 million, it's horrendous.
And you said Michael just turned.
No, I just turned 1 billion seconds old the other day.
Congratulations.
Can we just talk about like what you would do like with $1 billion? Because if you're like some people, I'm going to pass that down, through my family line. They'll always be taken care of. But if they're going to grow up to be little shits, I don't want them to have that money.
Yeah, okay, so
Have it buried with you.
Yeah. Or,
burn it. Donate
or
it to a
give
cat.
it to
Or donate it.
charity and help people with it.
There was an analogy I read about like trying to contextualize how much 1 billion is. I read it on this podcast like 6 months ago or so. I'm going to read it again, just because it's been a while. So I read this was in like a Bernie Sanders subreddit on Reddit.
Okay.
So that's where it came from. I did not figure this out. So this person used an analogy of a staircase, with each step on the staircase representing $100,000 of net worth.
Okay.
So half of people in the United States are on the base or the very first step, either 0 to $100,000.
Trevor told me this exact analogy, and my mind was blown.
Okay. I'm ready for it.
Almost 200 million people can't even get one step up. The households in the 80th percentile, which are richer than 4/5 of Americans, are on the 5th step. So
Okay.
5 steps up. Those in the 90th percentile are on the 11th step.
Okay.
A billionaire is 10,000 steps up.
10,000 steps up.
Yeah, that's
That's a single billion. Jeff Bezos is so high on the staircase, he's 133 miles in the air.
Oh my God.
That's more than halfway to the ISS.
So he
On a
can't,
staircase
yeah.
made out of $100,000 every
he
step.
can't breathe on his own steps.
It's 24 Mount Everests.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's incredible.
There is so much inequality in the world.
That's a crazy
How,
difference.
I just like I don't understand how you could be that rich and not want like you physically cannot spend that money.
I know. That's why I'm like, what are you doing with
Like
it?
it's just
where does it go?
Give this charity $1 billion. Give this charity $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like why wouldn't you be doing that if you
That's
have that
why I was
much
thinking.
money?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, maybe they want to save it for their family and their kids and all of that. But at the same time, these people also need to learn how to fucking work in this world.
What
And
is- what is
not
crazy-
just be given money.
I agree. What is crazy about that staircase, though, is he has so much money, and I'm sure it's all over the place in different currencies and different accounts and stuff, that his staircase is constantly like getting longer and shorter.
Well, also, it's like since a lot of it's probably tied in a stock, it's like if he starts selling that stock, his staircase is getting shorter because the stock is becoming worthless.
Yeah.
It's,
My God.
Yeah, but it's still halfway to the ISS. It's a lot. I don't know where to go
Yeah,
from there.
that's-
I wish. I mean,
So sad.
that's a lot of money, but I wouldn't mind a 133 mile high staircase.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like if you could only buy one big thing, like unlimited, you
Amazon.
have unlimited amount of money.
Perfect.
Would it be like a car, or like a?
Probably a place to live, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'd buy like a really nice place.
Yeah, I feel like cars are always like a waste of money.
Yeah.
I think so too.
The second you
Yeah.
drive off the lot, it depreciates immediately.
Yeah.
I never really understood that mindset though. Like if you're gonna keep it, then who cares?
Right.
But it's
Well,
Like if you're gonna try and
Oh,
sell
yeah.
it,
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the thought
Yeah.
is if you drive it off the lot, then 2 blocks away you get into a wreck, you owe a bunch of money on a car that you can't drive anymore.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's like because insurance will pay you back so much, and it's already depreciated in that time frame. They call that the gap, and they try to get you to buy gap insurance. There's a whole fucking thing.
Is that why it takes so long to buy a car?
Yes, that is why it takes so long to buy a car. You remember this?
Yeah.
I thought I was being smart. I showed up right when they were closing to buy a car, so that they wouldn't try to fuck with me. They still fucked with me.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Took hours.
Next time, maybe go there, show some interest, and then take an hour-long call first. So that by the time they're dealing with you, it's like way past when they want to be closing.
They probably sort of
I've
kicked
had
me
the
out. by then.
same car since I moved here.
That's awesome.
And like, it's a good car.
Yeah.
Keep it.
It is.
That's why, like, I had this discussion with a friend of mine recently who really likes cars. And they were like, why don't you, like, you've had this car for so long, why don't you get a new car? I'm like, because it still works.
Yeah.
And like,
It's in good condition.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like if you ever read like the personal finance subreddits, it's like always the thing. It's like if you don't have a car payment, keep it that way.
Great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even if I tried to sell the one I have now, I could probably get like a good amount, but like not nearly enough to trade in for a new car. Didn't you get a new car recently?
I got a new car about a year and a half ago, 2 years, and this is I leased before, and so this year is the first time I actually bought my car, and I'm making payments on it. It'll probably be another like 4 years of payments, but then it's mine, and then it's great, and it's a brand new car, so it's gonna last me for.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to keep it for like 10 years. So. Yeah, but back to our question though, you're right. I would invest in a house because I spend a lot of my time there anyway.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my time.
Well, if you're not at work, that's
Yeah.
where you are.
And then, but it would have a bunch of different rooms that are all themed different things. I'd go in there,
Like what?
depending on what mood I'm in. One room needs to be like a beautiful, like fairy light room, where like a tent is in there, and I can go like read and think about magical things.
I wanted,
You know what I mean?
I want to like, we should buy a house together.
Yeah.
And just have that room.
Yeah,
I bet
with,
that
like,
room would
pillows everywhere.
Smell really good.
It
Yeah.
probably would smell really good because I would be spraying perfume around. Yeah,
Burn some incense.
yeah.
I feel like
But
I want to
yeah.
make an ASMR video about that room.
Just the room of many different things.
The fairy light room.
Perfect.
I watch a lot of ASMR.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Like somewhere
House?
to live. A
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Especially around here in Austin.
Yeah.
Everything's just constantly getting more and more expensive.
Although if you buy an expensive house, it's kind of expensive to live in it.
It
Yeah.
is.
Well,
So you
especially
need to
because
make sure you don't
property tax.
spend the whole amount on the house.
Property tax
No.
in Texas is insane. Which I think,
But
'Cause we
also,
don't-
like, if you've got like a $20 million mansion, you need to like redo all the floors.
yeah. And
gotta
like
be low.
buy the furniture to fill the rooms.
I'd be happy with much cheaper than 20 million. I don't need $20 million.
Same here. I was gonna say I don't need a $20 million house.
There are some very interesting YouTube videos that I started watching where it's like realtors taking you on a tour of these like $80 million Los Angeles homes. And it's insane. I'm like, what kind of person needs this much space?
I know. I look up celebrity houses sometimes
Yeah.
just because I'm curious.
It
And I'm
also
just like,
be
"Ooh, look
so
inside."
like how much of a percentage are you entertaining people, right?
And they travel all the time. Are even home
Right?
all the time? No.
Even if you're home a couple days a week, you may and maybe entertain like once every few weeks or something like that.
Sure.
It's you have like 1,000 rooms in your house and you're using 2 of them the
Yeah.
majority of the time.
Mainly
It's
the
crazy
living
to
room
me.
and kitchen. The kitchen especially. That's where the
Hell
magic
yeah.
really happens.
How many toilets like are in that house? Like, do you have to keep a schedule? Like, oh,
That's fun.
this week I'm pooping in that toilet over
Yeah.
there.
Just
and you
for
probably
fun.
have to hire people to like clean it and maintain it too.
Yes.
It's like another added cost.
Exactly.
Only use one toilet every week, and then you're fine. You
Yeah,
gotta
but
make sure.
then the next week's toilet's going to be all minging because it's been used.
No, you clean it before you move on to the next one. Like when you're done using a toilet for the week, you clean it, then you move on to the next one.
Yeah, but I mean, by the time you get around to that toilet again, it'll be minging.
Would it?
Yeah.
The toilets get dirty just by being there?
Yeah.
What's-
and like
are you
all the
saying
water drains
minging?
away and they
Minging.
get all
What's that mean?
just nasty.
Like gross.
They do?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I've been out of town before for like a couple of weeks.
Oh, I mean, I've had periods where like I move out of my house to sell the other one. but it just sits, before it's been bought, and all the water goes away.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's weird.
I think that's just a you thing, Gavin.
Yeah, you get fucked in Texas on houses because, like, even if you pay off a house, you still have to pay property tax. And I think it's, 2% in Austin?
2.2, I think.
2.2?
Yeah. That's
So, yeah, if you buy, like, a $1 million house, it's a lot of fucking money that you're paying all the time, forever and ever.
Yeah.
Not saying that's me, but geez, man.
Like I did the math on it, and you said a $20 million house, a 2.2% tax on that would be $440,000 every year.
What's that a month?
Wow.
440, 1, 2, 3 divided by 12, almost $37,000 a month.
That's someone's salary.
And that's just property tax.
Yeah.
Can you imagine spending
Granted.
your entire salary every month, and that's not going towards the mortgage or the interest?
Yeah.
Granted,
Yeah.
if you're buying a $20 million house, you probably don't care about that.
Oh yeah.
Probably. But still, like, you have to look at that objectively and say, like, that's
It's a
fuck ton of
fuckload of
money.
money. Yeah. It's Jeff Bezos money.
that's 20th stair money.
Speaking of nice houses, I saw Neon Films, who I guess distributed Parasite. They had a tweet the other day where they showed like a behind the scenes look at an exterior of the house in Parasite. It's the scene where the mother's throwing the hammer out in the yard. And they show like how the second floor of that house is just blue screen, like it's all comped in. It's like the house that they shot at was just like that little facade for the backyard with the glass.
Wow.
And then like all the second floor and like everything else was all comped in. It was super cool to
I
see.
did not know that. I would never guessed.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love the house in that film
it's
so much.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It's really
such a nice
nice.
house. And it's like, and now to know it's like, oh yeah, I already knew. I was like, I suspect that a lot of this probably is sets or
And think
not
of
an
all
actual
the
house.
cool things you could do in that basement.
Oh, yeah.
Sex dungeon.
That's of course.
Man, what a twist.
Yeah. I know.
It's a great movie. If you still haven't seen it, you should absolutely see
I
it.
really hope it wins a bunch of Oscars this weekend.
Did you see? Yeah, you saw 1917. That's right. Have you seen it in IMAX yet?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
Not yet. I need to see it in IMAX.
I'm seeing Interstellar 70mm IMAX in a few weeks.
I'm literally watching that this weekend because Devin watched it Friday night and like he was like, I'm just gonna put it on while puzzling and just it'll be in the background, but he ended up staying up until 3 a.m. watching it. Like,
It's not. It's
so
really not
epic.
in the background kind of movie,
You're right,
is
it's
it?
not. It's just way too fucking epic. Yeah.
Jessica has got to see a really fun movie this weekend.
Yeah. That Barb was kind of invited to go to, but she said no to, and she made the right decision.
I had other plans, unfortunately. I couldn't attend.
Yeah, I couldn't attend. I saw Cats, the musical, the film version.
How? Where? That's still playing somewhere?
That's a good question. It was the rowdy version at Alamo
Alamo?
Draft House. So you could dress up like a kitty, and
Yeah, the Alamo Draft House does rowdy screenings where basically they encourage people to like talk to the screen and like hoot and
Applaud.
holler and applaud
Yeah.
and like it's not one of those movies where you have to stay quiet the whole time basically.
Like, you
Not a
could-
place to see a movie for the first time.
right.
No,
Had you seen
Unless
it before?
it's cats.
no, nope. So people are allowed to like hiss and meow and cough up a hairball if you felt the need to.
I had a cringe wave just travel all through my body. Just like,
It's like the first, and it was for somebody's birthday. It was actually Hannah McCarthy's birthday,
And we love her, and we would do
love her so
anything
much,
for her.
and that's why, yeah. And the first 15 minutes go by, and I immediately check my phone and I look up what is the runtime of Cats, and it, and it was an hour 50, and I was like, oh fuck, and so I'm like calculating the time in my head. I'm like, how many? Okay, we did like 20 minutes of previews. And I was like, fuck. And a lot of people were intoxicated. Someone else was like on shrooms. And so I was like, man, I'm the only sober person here. This is not fun for me because it just also wasn't a good movie. I was honestly incredibly blown away on how not great it was.
It was like
why didn't you
impressively
just-
bad.
Why don't you just walk out?
Because I'm there for my friend, because I'm a good friend.
Well, you're not going to hang out while you're watching the movie.
She was very much invested in watching all of our reactions. And so she was like, the whole time, she was just like,
I love her.
I know, it's really funny.
Hannah is the only person I would go see Cats for.
Exactly. I would have never done it otherwise.
Although it is funny because before I talked to you about it, I talked to someone else who was there who was intoxicated during the film, and I was like, "How was it?" They're like, "It was actually like really fun. Like I had a great time. Like the movie sucked, but like it was really fun, and everyone was being really funny." And then I saw you, and you're like, "It was terrible. I had the worst."
But I was also sober. So
The budget on Cats, according to Box Office Mojo, was $95 million. And domestically, it's made $27 million.
How many times could Jeff Bezos make Cats?
With the amount of money it lost domestically, you could buy 3 of those $20 million houses.
oh god. Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
just asking ourselves, about, like, to have a movie get made, it has to go through so many different steps and like such a process for it to actually be released in theaters. And the fact that it got through all those different steps,
Yeah, but it's not like an unproven concept. They're just doing the musical, right?
but it's
So they know like people like it.
But who made the decision on how to do the VFX and stuff like the way that they did it? Because I don't, you have to see it and it's just awful. So there's that. And then I didn't really like the music, but I can't really punch that in the face because it's from like I don't know, Cats like 40 years ago, right?
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
something like
Andrew
that.
Lloyd Webber, yeah. I don't know how old it is, but
It's 35 years old, I want to say.
I think it used to have Brian Blessed in it.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I guess they see like the Lion King remake and other things like
Yeah.
that, so they think that it's probably a sure thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just boils down to
Yeah.
someone made a creative decision,
Yeah.
or probably most likely a couple of people made it.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, right? Like that came out with one look, and people realized, oh, this
This
isn't
is
good. Got to
not
redo
great.
it. Except in this case, they couldn't. Weren't they working on the VFX for Cats like right up until the premiere? And like
They patched it.
they patched it. They updated it after the movie came out.
Wow. Wow.
Well, yeah, because Judi Dench's hand, right? Didn't she like have her human hand with her wedding ring in a couple shots?
Oh, I don't know.
There
That's what I
were
heard.
cats as humans that were cats with normal human hands, but cat faces with fur on their face with no fur on their hands.
Also,
human
why
hands.
did some of them have cat boobs?
I
They had
don't
like 6.
know.
No, just like actual like cat, like human boobs, but they're cat,
Pecs.
They should have had a bunch.
right?
Jason,
Yeah.
Jason Derulo.
That wouldn't have taken you out of it slightly. Just a ton of tits.
You're like, oh, maybe I'm kind of into this.
Ooh, Taylor Swift.
Jason Derulo had a tweet out that like they CGI outed his package. He felt like he needed to let everybody know that.
Cats have dicks.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah,
Is that the title?
but
Make sure you add the question mark at the end.
Wasn't 1917 so good though?
yes,
Kevin's
it
like,
was
get the
so
fuck
good.
away from this cat.
It's like he hates
Sorry.
cats. Yeah, it was so good.
I still haven't seen it.
It was technically amazing.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this in person yet. Yeah, I'm. So,
I feel like the only thing we talk about outside of work is movies.
yeah, because I mean they're important.
You know, they made with 1917. They made simulated a one take move or one long shot movie where it wasn't distracting. Like it wasn't the thing that was front and center the whole time. Like
Yeah.
every now and then I'd be like, oh yeah, the shot has been going on a long
And
time.
I was watching it thinking like, yeah, like, a tree moves in front. It's like, that was a transition. But I feel like for every transition I noticed, there was probably 10 that I didn't.
Right. There were so many, like early on in the movie, there's like a couple of segments that are really long. And I thought nothing wiped the screen.
Yep.
Like they're still going. Like I know surely they must have cut at some point because
Yeah.
it's a lot of dialogue, a lot of background actors going on. It's
I
like,
think they just did a lot with rehearsal. So that by the time they were shooting it, everyone was ready to do pretty long takes anyway.
Yeah,
yeah, but fuck.
I want to know, how long was the longest real segment?
actually, that's a good question.
In 1917?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder how long they went for.
I know in Children of Men they had like a 13-minute long take or
Yeah.
13-minute long shot.
There was also that one in Haunting of Hill House. They had a long take like that too, which I think maybe was around 11 minutes, where they moved all the sets and whatnot.
And I think
Yeah.
the Children of Men one was so involved. I think they could only do 3 runs of it a day
Jeez.
because like it had a tank and like urban
Oh my
combat and stuff.
God.
We joked about what it'd be like to be an extra or an actor who's like 7 minutes in and they really don't want to don't want to
God,
bollocks
and they
it all
meant,
up.
yeah,
Like,
they're
lie
the
on
ones
the
that like
floor,
fuck it up. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen. There's a Korean movie that came out last year called Burning, and it has Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead in it, and they have a scene in there that's shot at twilight, like right at sunset, and that was distracting for me when I watched it in the theater because I thought they're using all natural light, and they probably only have a couple minutes a day to film this.
Yep.
And I looked it up on IMDb after I was out of the movie, and it said they spent a month just filming that scene. Oh my god! Just because they had such a limited window of time where they could film it. It's like that is fucking dedication to that style. Like they could have said like, "Fuck it, let's bring some lights," or "Let's just change, let's do a rewrite, let's do it some other way." It's like no, they were like, "We're gonna do it at dusk."
Yeah.
And
They brought that up in 1917 behind the scenes about how they sometimes on set they just have to wait until the clouds would move, waiting for light and stuff. Just on set, just sometimes 30 minutes at a time. Just everyone's just sitting around waiting.
God, what a waste of
The
money.
producer's just watching a pile of money burn.
Yeah.
I think about when we're filming and there's like a plane going overhead, and you're like, "Oh, we have to wait 30 seconds for a plane." Can't imagine being on a set like 1917 where there's hundreds of people.
Well, especially like as an actor, when you're like ready to be in that moment and like be on for that, and like it's like, okay, go. Now you have to do it when you're like prepared and like psyched up and stuff like that. What's the record for the longest one take shot? Because 13 minutes is a long.
It is.
Well, it depends if it was a true 13-minute take
True.
or whether it was 13-minute shot.
Yeah.
The one
I mean, when it was filmed, it was limited by your film would run out after like 4 minutes.
Yeah. Someone said 8.5 minutes was the longest shot. I know Birdman, had a lot of one shot takes.
Oh, I didn't know Hill House had 4 different. I thought it was just that one episode. I need to look into that too.
I'm trying to look this up. It's hard to find.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna find it or not.
Yeah, I'm sure I could find it. It's just hard
Yeah.
to look it up quickly while we're talking here.
Yeah. Do everything at once, Gus.
No, but I know the one in. I thought the one in Childerman was 13 minutes. They're saying 8.5. I'll have to look that up later. But I know that one was a true take because the one they ended up using in the film, the take they ended up using, blood splatter got on the lens at one point, and they had to like digitally remove it. So like as you watch the scene go on, like the blood splatter on the lens becomes like fuzzier and fuzzier. Then eventually like it just goes away. This episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Stamps.com. Postage rates have gone up again. Thankfully, Stamps.com eases the pain with big discounts off post office retail rates. With Stamps.com, you save 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off shipping rates. That kind of savings really adds up, especially for small businesses. Plus, Stamps.com is completely online, which saves you time. There's no more inconvenient trips to the post office. Stamps.com brings all the services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer. Whether you're a small office sending invoices or an online seller shipping out products or even a warehouse sending thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it. Once your mail is ready, just hand it to your mail carrier or drop it in the mailbox. It's that simple. Stamps.com not only saves you time, it saves you money too. With Stamps.com, you get discounted postage rates that you can't even get at the post office. Not to mention, it's a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters. There's no equipment to lease, no long-term commitments. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time and money. It's no wonder over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. Right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Rooster. That's Stamps.com, enter Rooster. Thank you, Stamps.com, for sponsoring this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
It's crazy.
It is.
We have a pretty fun video coming out on Friday.
Did you shoot it in one take?
Technically. No.
We should make our own 1901.
Oh yeah. I was like, what? No, it's the little thing we did for Achievement Hunter.
Oh, that's coming out?
That's coming out this Friday?
Coming out on Friday. And we unintentionally ruined filming for that day, I think, for you, Gavin.
Yeah.
Because like you guys had it was like you were traveling or something, so it's like the one day you could be there. But we
I was
hadn't
just about
told
to go to England, yeah.
we hadn't told anybody from Achievement Hunter about it, including Trevor or Sarah, because we didn't want anybody to know. And after she's like, if you guys could let me know when you want to pull a prank, like anything, just so
Now,
I could
here's
like.
the thing. You absolutely should have told Sarah, but it's so good that you didn't, because she would easily just let it slip.
Well, that's because we're like, we don't know if you were going to tell anybody. She's like, I wouldn't tell anybody.
She wouldn't intentionally tell anyone. She would immediately give it away.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah Ween.
So now you know. Don't let
Okay,
her
good
know.
to know. Good to know. Yeah.
We have to have an inside man or
Yeah.
inside woman.
I mean, we still got the video done that day. That's fine.
Okay, good.
good.
I was worried that we completely fucked it up for you guys. But
I'm so excited.
that's
This
the
is-
real prank.
I think this is going to be, it's one of the best things we've done in a long time.
We were all so excited about it. And
Yeah.
I think like everything came together so well and the
Yeah.
reaction was so
Yep.
perfect.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you, I don't know if you saw anything from it, right? Yeah.
No, I was about to come in for the video we're supposed to be making, and they were like, "Don't come in." I was like, "Oh, okay,"
What? Aw. I
Yeah.
should have told you to still come in.
because I said I could only. I was like really slammed on time that week, so I was like, I can come in for this video, but that's it.
Yeah.
It was Lasso,
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
An important
which
one.
we just finished today. Finished Halo Reach.
Congrats.
Congrats. Did you get the ending spoiled for you, or did you go in fresh?
Went in fresh.
How long did it take you?
Sarah's in the chat. I'm sorry, Sarah.
Oh, oops.
She's like, I can keep a secret. I believe in you, Sarah. We'll tell you next time.
Oh my
stick
God,
by
she's
what I
so
said.
cute. Sarah, we love you though.
Sarah Weems!
We do.
Sarah has the best intentions.
She really
at
does.
all times.
I've never seen someone look so defeated when she came in and she's like, oh, we were going to film today.
I know. And she sees the office and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worth it. It was worth it for a great video.
Yeah, I think Ryan was the one who slapped me. He was just like,
Don't say anything.
Don't
We're not-
say what he's actually.
no, he was like, guess we're not doing Lasso at X time.
Ryan.
Okay.
And I was like, what's happening? And he's like, it's very hard to explain.
Ooh, building up the suspense.
Yeah, he almost ruined it for a couple people too.
Yeah.
Because like the whole purpose of it was to get like you guys coming in and having the reaction and like getting all that. And he apparently messaged some people before they were in the office to tell them what was going on. It's like, Ryan,
Oh yeah.
don't
Yeah.
slap the keyboard out of his hands.
I was looking up an article that I was gonna talk about. But you know how like when you're reading an article, sometimes there's like little sidebar articles or like
Yep.
little other like
You get
suggested also
distracted.
things on this website. And I had to click on this one.
Okay.
The headline is, "Someone's finally made a pair of vagina gloves."
Finally.
I need to try and figure out what they're even talking about.
What does that mean?
I still don't know.
Do they
We'll
go
read
up
about
the
it. We need to
vagina,
know.
or they are gloves that look like vagina? Is it like a glove that someone could nod?
Oh, yeah, it's a glove you jack off into.
Oh goddamn. Okay.
So it's like a
Fleshlight?
pocket pussy.
Yeah. Flashlight.
The
Yeah.
way I figured this out was the first sentence of the article.
Wait. Read it. Yep.
You know how every single time you blow your load inside a cheap plastic sex doll, you always end up feeling that beautiful, tender moment of shared devotion and pray to whatever God you believe in. The two of you can. I can't even.
Oh my
I'm done.
God. Wow.
You mean you don't want footage of you reading this out loud?
I don't.
Don't want that to exist on the internet?
Would you be annoyed, Barbara, if they took a mold of the inside of your vagina and sold it for banging?
Sold it for banging.
I like how you implied that this would happen against my will. Like, oh shit! What are you guys doing?
What if you came into work, you sat on your desk,
Onto some
in the
plaster
Rooster
mold.
Teeth store was a
Naked.
new product, and you were like, and it was your vagina.
I mean, I wouldn't be pleased, but also just like,
What if it was ribbed for your pleasure?
how does that make it better? Would you be happy if they were selling the mold of your dick in the store for people to fuck?
I feel like a dick is way more generic.
You can
Like,
you
Than
can
the
like
inside of a vagina?
like there's probably 500 million dicks that are just the same as mine.
And there's probably 500 billion vaginas that are the same.
not
as
that
mine.
500 billion.
vagina.
Exactly.
Jeff Bezos level.
Yeah, but I feel like the inside of a vagina can have more variation.
That's true, but I think if people are going to buy them on our
it?
Rooster Teeth store, it would be like, this is Gavin's dick, this is Barbara's vagina, and they'll be thinking about both of you while they jack off. And that's the difference, I think.
I thought you were going to say they'd buy them both.
Yeah, that's where I thought it was going.
I don't know how you didn't go there with that.
That's where everyone thought it was going.
They would gain no
They could
information.
do that
Even,
too. Like when people buy two Barbie dolls and smash them together.
even if someone took both, it was just like, yeah, it'd be like, that wouldn't tell anyone anything about.
Nothing. I mean, like, the internet is a disgusting, vile place.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There's stuff that people post about me that just shakes me to my core. It's fucking gross. But I'm also just like, It's not hurting me. Just fucking just go be happy. As
I'm
long
just
as you're not being
throwing this
creepy.
out there. I knew that there was already a product where you could clone your own dick and make a dildo out of it.
Oh, jeez.
There is a clone a pussy kit. It's $21.50 on Amazon. Free shipping.
$21.50.
Yes.
So wait, what do you have to just shoot a bunch of foam up? How does that even work?
Don't know.
Or do they 3D scan it and print it?
This looks like some kind of putty.
Yeah, I think you kind of stick your hand up there,
There's
putty
no
it
way
up.
you'll get all the definition off like the back walls and stuff.
I love how
no,
he's so
it's-
concerned with the definitions.
It's an
Right,
exact
really
replica
great.
of the outer portion of any vulva.
Okay, so it's the front.
Yeah.
New IT life
okay.
idea.
Oh my god! Oh,
They have a chocolate version.
wow.
Sure they do.
That's something special.
Okay, so do you think you'd be able to pick up? Do you think you'd be able to identify your vagina from the lineup of everyone?
If it was
in-
just the inside,
no, the front.
oh yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Not the. I wouldn't know the inside. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not.
You would know the first 2 to 3 inches.
That's. You know what? That's implying that I do that, Barb. But we don't know that. So
It wasn't me.
Well, you could just, at the same time, just
Someone get
One of them would be flip.
HR on the phone. Can we get them out here right now? So the thing I was looking up that led me to the vagina glove story
yes.
was this story I'd read about last week. Or I guess there's this this mystery in Halifax
Pussy pie.
where there's this guy who goes around late at night after bars have closed, and he offers to give drunk men rides. And if they get into the car with him, he makes them try on gloves and won't let them out of the car until they try gloves on and he can watch. And sometimes,
gets off on it.
yeah, sometimes he masturbates while watching them try on different gloves. It's like it's such a fucking bizarre story.
yeah.
It almost sounds fake, but like there's numerous people who corroborate it who are like, oh yeah, that guy picked me up 5 years ago outside of this bar. Or, like, I guess
Does he have a gun with him?
No.
How do they stay in the car?
they just say he won't let them out. It's kind of vague. I don't know if there's like an investigation, so they don't
Wow.
they can't say too much about it.
Has he like taped gloves to their door handle so they have to put the
They put the gloves on to get in.
to open the door?
It's a really, really long article. Sometimes he makes them drive and put on gloves while they're driving. It's like there's a bunch of different variations on it, but they just call him, what do they call him? I can't. It's like the Halifax glove guy or something. He has like a really really weird name.
It would be Halifax. I'm just kidding.
Very interesting.
Halifax is a great place. Lovely people.
There's so many weird fetishes out there. Like just get turned
What's the
on
weirdest
while
one
watching
you've
you.
come across? Not literally.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I'll tell the story. Whatever. You might be watching this. Who
Okay.
knows? Lindsay and I met someone at a convention one time who wanted us to blow balloons up and pop them because that was his fetish. He told us it was his fetish and then reached into his backpack and said, I have some balloons if you wanted. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
That's
A little uncomfortable of a situation because it's like, all right, like I understand people have their fetishes and stuff and good on you for wanting to share that with us. But then wanting us to actually do it.
Like the actual act isn't strange, but the fact that you know that they're getting off on it.
Why would
Right.
he
The part that's
why would he even
Yeah.
share that with you? That part is
that's weird. That's very
Unusual.
weird.
On one hand, I was like, I appreciate that you feel comfortable around me. Maybe it's because like always open. We have that kind of like
Okay.
open, candid kind of rapport and like, that's totally fine. And so I guess he felt comfortable enough to share, but then it's knowing that and then asking us to do it, which was like the uncomfortable part, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
To put it lightly.
That's super strange.
So how did you turn him down?
Oh no, that's okay. Sorry, I have to go now.
How many balloons did you do before you left? Was it like 4?
7.
Nice.
Yeah. Just until he came.
Oh wow.
What was it? Oh no, I don't want to spoil that. There was something we talked about in that meeting earlier. I was like, yeah, we should upload that to Pornhub too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
We've been talking about wanting to upload our content onto Pornhub.
Can anyone upload to Pornhub?
Anyone.
Oh.
And you'd probably get some okay views.
But see, of course, my mind immediately goes to like awful places like human trafficking. So like, I hate that.
Well, we're not going to upload that.
No, but I mean, like other people, if you can upload anything to Pornhub, then you can upload. Sorry to bring this down, but that was like my first head just went to ooh, videos that don't.
Wait, why did you go straight to that?
Because that's just like, I guess it was because I watched Taken recently, honestly too. But like, yeah, it's just like if you can upload anything to Pornhub, that means like people that shouldn't be doing, or maybe women or men that are doing things against their will are being uploaded to Pornhub also.
Well, I'm sure that that's against their terms of service.
Sure, it's against their terms of service, but probably does not stop them doing it.
They can't watch every video.
I know.
So you're saying you might be watching something where you can't verify how much consent
Yeah.
was in the video.
Yeah.
If we do an RT Life of us taking a mold of our vaginas, perfect Pornhub content.
I mean, it is perfect. That will get a lot of views for sure.
It's just us sitting there with
Just
Like-
do. It's like silent. Just
frame
like,
up.
Smiling.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, nobody would be disappointed by that.
I don't think so.
Like, that's like the ultimate clickbait.
Yeah. Golden content right there.
I always like look up and try to find interesting things to talk about in the podcast. And I read something that made me kind of upset the other day. You might get extra mad about this. I'm going to read the summary as I found it. Electronic patient record system used by thousands of doctors were programmed to automatically suggest opioids at treatment thanks to a secret deal between the software maker and the drug company.
That's fucking awful.
Yes, I guess, there was a electronic patient record, so when a doctor would see a patient and put in like their symptoms or update their chart, it would suggest like, hey, maybe you should give them opioids to fix this problem.
Yeah.
And through no real reason other than the fact that the software maker had a deal with a drug manufacturer to try to push more opioids on people.
Everyone involved in that should be sued to oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like this was a long time ago. This was fairly recently. Like, we were already in the grips of this opioid problem in the United States. And to suggest those kinds of things that probably weren't even necessary, just to sell more.
I like that something that was basically a couple of clicks here and there for some like small group of people literally result in death,
Right.
potentially,
Yeah.
of multiple people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and just like continuing to fan this
Yeah,
flame.
if even one of those ended up in an addiction that ended in death,
Yeah. Like, is
that's
that
crazy.
fucking worth it?
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't heard a ton of story about it. Like, I haven't seen it all over the place. I saw it, I think I saw it posted on Reddit somewhere, but I haven't seen it like any other big news stories about it.
I could be wrong, but wasn't there also a study released that, like, in states where marijuana is legal, the opioid usage has gone like way, way down?
Yeah.
And obviously,
Yeah, sure.
deaths
Yeah.
involving marijuana are
Yeah.
zero.
Far fewer.
Yeah.
I have a number for you, Gavin. So this was between 2016 to spring 2019. That,
Oh, it ended that recently?
that alert went off 230 million times.
Oh my God. That's
It might be one of the most damaging things that ever happened to humanity.
That is
that's-
completely
yeah.
under the radar, it
that's
seems like.
Yeah.
The software company was a company called Practice Fusion. They were paid by a major opioid manufacturer to design it in an effort to boost prescriptions for addictive pain pills.
Jesus.
Holy-
Oh my. I
That
hate
is so
it.
messed up.
I hate it.
That is like the
Yeah.
a definition of corruption.
I guess
It's
people found out
awful.
about it because of a government investigation, and the software manufacturer agreed to pay $145 million to resolve civil and criminal cases.
Wow, that's like nothing.
Seems like a slap on the wrist.
It absolutely does.
If it went off 230 million times, it's just
couldn't-
over 50 cents.
You
Yeah,
couldn't even
that's-
you couldn't even make cats twice for that.
Man.
You would only get a few steps up.
My doctor that I go to, she knows I have anxiety, obviously, and I have panic attacks. And I told her that there's sometimes that I just like can't calm my anxiety when I'm having a panic attack with nothing. And I told her, I was like, I need something to just calm my nerves down. And it took me 3 times going back to her after going to therapy and doing yoga and meditation for her to finally give me a small amount of Klonopin. And I love her for that. I love her for just because, like, doctors get paid money every time they write a prescription and whatnot. And so I thought it was just wonderful that she just wouldn't give it to me just because I'm over here saying I have anxiety and panic disorder and stuff.
I want to say, I think there's a website you can look up. I have to research this, but I remember seeing this a few years ago where you can type in different doctors' names and you can see how much money they've been paid by different pharmaceutical companies.
Wow.
Like a speaking fees or whatever, so if they have like ulterior motives. I was very happy. I typed my doctor's name in and it was like 0.
That's great. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, thank God.
I feel like my doctor would be the same, the way she handled that situation with me.
This healthcare system you got here is pretty nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's true. If only there was a simpler way.
Yeah.
When I was
If only other countries had a solution to how they do it.
a few years ago, I was in. Gosh, I tell this. A few years ago, I was in Sydney. I think it was for maybe it was like for the first RTX Sydney. Anyway, it was in late 2016, early 2017. It was right after the election, so it was late 2016. And I was down there, and I was sitting in a pub in Sydney, down by the Opera House, and so it was my wife and I were sitting. There was an empty seat to my right, and then on the other side, like, was this older couple from the UK. And then, of course, a bunch of Australians everywhere else. This guy walks in. He walks in. I instantly see him and I'm like, oh, God, he's going to sit next to me because he's by himself. And there's like one seat right there at the bar. He comes in, makes a beeline and sits right there. He's obviously American as well, talking very loudly to everyone, giving everyone unsolicited advice. He starts talking to the elderly British couple who are on the other side of him. He starts telling them how nationalized healthcare doesn't work and it never works in any country. And they were like, well, we have that. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm sure you all aren't happy with it. He's like, no, we like it. We're really good with it. And then he argues with them for a really long time about it. Then he's like, all right, I'll be right back. I need to go vape. And he like puts like his stuff down on the chair. He asks the bartender, like, can you watch this for me? And he goes out and he starts like vaping in the street. And as soon as he goes outside, I was like, I just want everyone to know, I don't know that guy. I know that I'm an American too, but that guy is not with me.
Yeah. I don't share his opinions, thoughts, or feelings.
Like, we're from the same country. I'm sorry, but I do not know who that is. Because it was like, it's fine that he has his opinion or whatever, but he was trying to engage everyone else and tell them why they were wrong about things. I was like,
yeah.
That's madness.
Let them do whatever they want, man.
Yeah. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but you can't just like force it and whatnot. And just...
I get into arguments a lot about that kind of stuff because I feel like it's pointless to not be vocal when there's just so much misinformation. If I see an opportunity to hop in and correct some false statement, I'll just do it, even though it ruins my mentions for the week. But the thing people say most about why NHS wouldn't work here and stuff is that the wait times and all that stuff.
The wait times are already bad.
But also,
that's very true.
Like, yeah, we have the NHS, but you can also go private as well.
Yeah.
You can do what you have here as well. They don't take that away. That's still an option. People just think it's one or the other. Don't understand.
That's true.
Where people get their
info.
info.
I think their fear, which I think is somewhat justified, would be that once you have nationalized healthcare, the people opting for private insurance, the pool becomes a lot smaller. So as a result, premiums go way up. But I'm sure a lot of the people arguing against it haven't thought that through.
Yeah.
all that way. But I think that would be the side effect.
Yeah.
A lot of people also think that because we have like a free, bill-less healthcare, that the doctors don't get paid.
Or that the doctors aren't good.
Or they're not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a misunderstanding in terms of like how things work in other countries. It's insane.
Yeah, and I don't enjoy constantly having these tweets where it's like, nobody follows me for that. But whenever I'm there, like correcting that stuff, I just want to find out where people got their information from.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where this massive percentage of the US has all the facts wrong about how the system works.
That's just the internet though, isn't it? Of just someone will
It's way
see
beyond
something
the
or read
internet.
something and then say something else, and then someone will take what that person said and take it. Like everything just becomes a broken telephone game on the internet.
Bad.
Like so bad.
Yeah.
It's
A very depressing point.
Speaking of misinformation and broken telephones,
Oh, great.
Can't wait for this.
I saw this really brilliant experiment that this guy did last week, where he wanted to see if it was possible to fuck with traffic on Google Maps. So he had a suitcase, like one of those rolling suitcases you take on the airplane with you, and he filled it with 99 cell phones, all running Google Maps, and he created a fake traffic jam.
So it was just red on that road?
Right. So it's like there were no cars on the street, but the street turned red on Google Maps and started altering people's like route suggestions.
So I bet the only people who came down that street were people not using navigation.
Right.
That's
Then therefore created no traffic.
Right. He
whatsoever.
effectively created a denial of service on a street.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, that is.
How many
where-
phones did he have?
I think he said it was 99 phones in a suitcase.
And a bitch ain't one.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's great. What else could you do that with?
Right. It's like really. Oh, so honestly, it's a little scary. Like you start to think about all the different bits of information that we get crowdsourced and
Yeah.
what can you fuck with? Like this one guy who decided he wanted to do that. Like what if you had several people walking around doing that in a bigger area?
Oh no.
No. Wouldn't like that.
No.
What determines, sometimes at airports it says how long the wait is for security.
Yeah.
Is that manually entered or is that automatic?
I looked into this before. It's manually entered.
Oh.
There's an at the time I looked at it, it may be different now. At the time I looked at it, it was an optional thing where you could download an app, and then when you went through security, you manually entered how long you waited to get through. Maybe they've updated it since then, but at the time I looked, that's how it was done.
It's kind of like they have this one intern that's like, okay, you go look at the line. Tell me how many minutes it looks like it is. I don't know, like 6 to 20.
It's like when you go to a restaurant and you're like, how long to wait for a table? Like, I don't know, 30 minutes? Like, they're just making numbers up.
Yeah, exactly. Like people could sit there and like after they're done eating and like chat for another 2 hours, bastards, and then I sit there. With
The
my
real
table.
animals,
And
the
then
real
you're
monsters.
sitting in the lobby looking at them, waiting
Yeah.
for them to like, I see you pay your check.
Yeah, because sometimes the host will just point out, once those people right there get up, and then she's kind of like,
Although my pet
See this?
peeve is those restaurants where it's like a seat yourself kind of place. Like you order at the front and then you sit down.
Yeah.
And it's like the 1 or 2 people who are sitting at a table that's designed for like 6 people. And you're just like, there's another table for 2
Yeah.
right over there.
Yeah.
And like,
But maybe there wasn't when they sat down.
Gavin,
Or
be
there was.
quiet.
It's like when you go, it's like when you park in a parking lot and someone's parked all fucked up. You're like, look at that asshole. It's like, well, they probably parked like that because someone else.
That's
It may not be them. It's
I
just
hate when that
casting the
happens to
problem.
me if I'm parking behind someone who's parked like an asshole. And I'm like, I hope they don't leave before me because then it looks like I'm the asshole.
Yeah.
Ugh, and they always leave
I'm
before
so
me.
tempted to always leave notes on those cars that just. And sometimes when I see it, and usually it's like a really like nice car. It's like one of those sports cars or something.
Would you leave a really passive aggressive note?
No, it
Or
would
would
be
it be
very
polite?
direct.
So no
Yeah, it'd
fluff.
be like, you fucking asshole, learn how to park, bitch.
I had to
comma bitch.
I had to do something the other day that is still giving me anxiety.
No.
So there's a person who lives near me who on Sunday morning from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. at least, they were sitting outside with their dog. Their dog was on a leash attached to something, and the dog was just barking. Literally non-fucking stop from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Would not stop. Every time someone walked by, every time a car would drive by, it was just barking. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Is she just sitting out there on like a lawn chair?
It was a dude, yeah. He was just sitting on a lawn chair, like, this dog's barking.
Oh.
And so I go outside, and I'm like, excuse me? Because I just got, like, so fed up. I was just trying to enjoy my day, and, like, all I could hear is this dog barking all morning.
Sassy bar.
And I was like, your dog is barking. Could you take it inside? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, thank you. It was like an older guy. But I'm like, how?
Like,
yeah,
it's barking.
You own a
Yeah.
dog. It's outside. It's barking all nonstop all day. Do you not
Yeah.
think this is disturbing anybody
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
Maybe he's slightly deaf.
Not. He heard me. And I was like far away
You
yelling
should
at
have
him.
tried barking first to see if he reacted.
But like it was one of those things where it's like I know I have to do this to get it to stop, but then I went inside and I'm just like now I'm full of adrenaline and I will be for the next like 6 hours. Because
I think you secretly love telling people off though,
I do and I don't because I'm like
because
this
you're
person,
really good at it.
well when it's like children.
I think we all secretly enjoy it, you know? Like,
I
it's
watched you
weird.
tell off a lot of children back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because I wouldn't have the balls to do it.
Yeah, we'd go swimming and there'd be kids who were just like being nuisances to us, and Gavin would be like, Barbara, go tell them to stop.
He's kicking water in my drink again.
Yeah, kids are fine.
So
because, like,
how would you tell these kids? Like, shut up, you fucking little
no,
shits.
I would just be like, hey, there's a whole pool. We're trying to enjoy our time here. Why don't you just go swim over there, okay? Thank you.
And I would like sink down low into the water because it made me uncomfortable.
Well, it's just like, especially when you're in a public pool, it's so big. We're just in this one little corner, just like sitting in the pool drinking, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be swimming near us.
Yeah.
These and just like the fact that parents don't tell their kids to like leave other
know.
people alone is mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Like if I had a kid, I'd be like, don't bother those people. They're just trying to drink.
Right here.
I was in a meeting earlier today.
Was it the same meeting that you
the
referenced
same-
a million times with
at the
us in
same
it
meeting?
too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in a meeting earlier today, and I was sitting on the couch.
Was it game bang me?
And yeah,
Yes, it was the same
And-
gang baby.
someone was sitting next to me using the massage gun for like 20 minutes, and it was like vibrating the whole couch.
You know who the person was?
What
You know
does
who
this got
the
to do
person
with
was,
it?
Gavin? Guess who it was?
No.
all right.
And then it was just kind of loud, and it was hard for me to hear things. So after like 20 minutes, I turned to this person and I said, "Hey, are you almost relaxed yet?" And they just said, "Oh, do you want me to turn it off?" And I said, "Yeah, please."
Well, it's because if you have your leg on the floor and you're doing it on your leg, it literally vibrates
shakes
the
the whole
entire floor.
Why would you do that in a meeting?
Incredible.
I don't think this person realized it was causing a ruckus.
It's just like a really weird thing to do.
No, first off, when we first got our, what's it called? The Hydra gun?
Hypervolt.
The Hypervolt. It was such a strange thing to just randomly walk out into the flex space and see somebody
Hydra gun.
alone. So, yeah.
It's a water pistol.
Right. No, but it was such a strange thing to just like come out of my office just to go to the bathroom and I see somebody like sitting on the couch alone in the flex space, just like massaging their body, you know, like at work.
Yeah.
But now
it's
it's
very
become,
personal.
It's
like-
become such a
It's like
thing.
it's just out there. People just grab it all the time.
Yeah, people are
massage
just sitting there just like, yeah, so I really think in Q3
Just,
we
like,
should
massaging their whole body.
Next time they're just inflating and popping balloons.
Nice.
I will say I
good
have
callback.
one now because of you, and I will do it like at the end of the night. And me and Devin are like watching something, and say for instance it's time to watch like a real show, not one of those mind-numbing shows that you kind of watch as you like settle in for your night. And I'll have it on, and so like Devin will let me do it, and it's just on for such a long time because I'm just like, this is so nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
and it'll be
You
on for
almost,
like
like, become a jelly.
Exactly, and like 15 minutes will go by, and then he'll pause it, and then he'll go like this. So. All right, I've been really trying to keep my cool. I've been trying to be very patient with you, but you've had that on for like the past hour and a half. Like we just started our show.
You mean you don't like watching your show with
Is he like shaking at this point? Like, I need you to please.
I'll go grab it for the post show. That way you can use it on the couch and you can see
Yeah.
He's
what
like, the
it's
whole
like.
couch is shaking. He's like, my whole body's been shaking the entire time. Can you please turn it off?
No, it was not me. I did not do it.
It was you, Barb. You introduced it to all
I
of us.
introduced it to, so I guess it's technically my fault.
I mean,
but-
it's a brilliant device.
But yeah, let's grab it for the post show.
Yeah, I'll grab it right now. All right, so
Gavin can
let's wrap
experience
this up so we can bring this over.
sorry,
all right,
Eric.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Get RTX tickets.
Get RTX tickets before I say that.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
They're available right now, July 3rd to 5th in Austin. Come see us. See the podcast live. All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.